Hello, everybody. We are back with another match from round 8. This time, bringing you Lyder playing against he's playing Pikarom and he's playing against Mill. Quite a match that we've seen lately, and actually, we'll see it as well here how the deck evolved to match each other. And I'm joined here once again by Martin Wagner. Are you ready for this matchup? To be bored or to be amazed?
I'm I'm super ready for sure, but I'm not sure if it will be like as orderless as the matchup has been before, or if there have been any new techs. But I think yeah, we have seen this matchup in like I think it was 2 qualifiers ago. We have seen this matchup quite sometimes, and a lot of times the mill came out on top or control came out on top. So
Mhm.
I think Pika does not have the tools to deal with it very well, but with the addition of stuff like Boss Order, you can at least get around the Pokédolls and yeah, maybe
Yeah,
take
definitely.
out an opponent's Mew early to set up for a late game Tag Bolt or something.
Yeah, that was the big thing, taking out the dolls would have lost you so many turns if you were the Pikarom player. But right now, you have Boss Order to just bypass that, and at the same time, you are so fast that even before the mill player is even able to set up, as we see here, in fact, just one Chinchino into play, you're able to already dish out a lot of damage and a lot of pressure, eventually taking down all of the mill's supporting Pokemon.
Yes, I think versus Mill, I think Mill has gotten significantly weaker with the addition of Boss's Order,
Yeah,
but Control maybe not so much. Like if you have the option to handlock your opponent, how is Pika gonna deal with that if you just
exactly.
stamp, chip, and
Yeah,
go
they
from
don't play
there?
Zacian, right?
Yeah, they play no Zacian, no Ranguru versus stuff like Dragapult. They can bench the Ranguru, so should be fine.
Mhm.
But I think not a lot of decks.
Ooh, big misplay here by by Lyder. I think he wanted to attack. In fact, he was looking at the Bolton trying to see what was wrong. He put it into the active, and instead of attacking and damaging the station, he just went for the electrify, which I'm not sure was the thing he was going for here.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
the Wonders Labyrinth being in play, you would have needed to attach another energy right there, and that would
exactly.
mean he would have had to play the Professor Research to maybe dig for a switching card or something to get the Dedenne out. So yeah, that's certainly something you don't want to do. And but still, if you go for Electrify repeatedly, you take all of the energy out of your deck, and that leaves you with fewer cards in total. So you're also playing towards the mill player's win condition.
Indeed,
And there we
indeed.
see Belelba Bryceman already coming down, milling aggressively. If your opponent doesn't take any prizes, so be it. Just start to get rid of their resources slowly if they play conservative and don't.
Indeed, and I think he's deciding whether he wants to also discard 3 cards from his hand and remove 2 spaces, which wouldn't be bad in this situation. In fact, there we go. Discarding 3 card also from his hand, and he's gonna probably discard the Jirachi, I would say, and maybe one of the Minchinos. In this way, he'll be able to bench other cards that are gonna impact this matchup much more.
Yeah,
Let's see,
probably
actually.
he's
There we
he
go.
he the mid player probably noticed that yeah, Lyder's going for attack bolt right here because the Pika already has like 6 energies attached to it, and you have no bench space for Mew, so you just go for you just mill yourself bench yeah, like close your bench and then get the Mew, and then this way you're safe from attack bolt that could be potentially devastating for your board, and you can keep just setting up safely.
Exactly, and there we go. Later we see he plays his own copy of the Wanderer's Labyrinth. Probably not the best card in this matchup. Would have preferred a Chaotic Swell or something like that. But overall, the Zation is still in the active. Is gonna mean something good for him. If right now after this research he hits Thunder Mountain, maybe that could be massive because then he can take the knockout or just even something to remove that Wanderer's Labyrinth. So he can take the knockout with the Bolton without retreating, saving up energies, and leaving the Bolton in the active, which is not bad.
Yeah, I feel like if you commit to like a research or the Dene here, you it becomes really hard to take the remaining knockouts in the amount of like turns that you have left,
Hmm.
because you see he didn't even play the Dana or research right here, and he has only 21 cards left in deck. So
Yeah.
um,
Also, the Zacian tanking up the full blitz. Obviously, previously ADP Zacian was like favorite against Pikarom because Zacian has 220 HP. You will need 3 electric powers to knock it out with full blitz, or you either commit the tag bolt with 1 electric power, which is still something massive to do. But even in this matchup, even if it's male and Zacian is not the main Pokemon, it still shows how strong Zacian is as a Pokemon itself. Very tanky, perfect setup, and overall a card that is very, very splashable.
yeah, it can just soak up a hit and make your opponent maybe reach for resources, and that way they play cards, and if they play cards, that's good for you, right? They deck themselves
Indeed.
up. So yeah, you just can sit comfortably behind the Zacian if your opponent is not doing a lot for the first few turns, because then you don't have to be as worried about like them taking fast knockouts in the late game, because you
Indeed.
already progress so much to your win condition.
So there's the pal pad putting back already. I would have preferred to see it maybe a bit later. The pal pad obviously don't really want to draw those cards right now. Just want to thin out the deck to very little cards. But obviously, since you're playing Chin Chin Mill, you'll be able to draw a lot of cards each turn. So let's see. The Zacian remains there. The Pikarom is gonna probably take this knockout this turn. And it's interesting here if he wants to go for a Dedenne or if he just wants to hold it off.
Yeah, I mean, if you play the Dene, you go down to 14, and
Yeah, it's always spooky, to the Dedenne, above for the fact that it's also spooky to not do it. It's spooky to
yeah,
do it
of
because
course.
power plant could just, come knocking at your door. Or like if they mill you right now the resources they need, they would have drawn with the Dedenne. It's always a heartbreak. There you go. That's the knockout. This is gonna mean that finally the mill player has access to Lieutenant Surge.
Yes. Only one boss order for Lyder in his deck right now to maybe be able to take out the Mew. Um, but I don't think you will be able to take out the Mew and tech bolt this game.
Yeah, it's just
Because you
because,
would
yeah,
you need to
ordinary road.
top deck exactly search, and your
Yeah,
opponent would need to whiff the ordinary to top deck
indeed.
exactly boss order, and your opponent would need the ordinary rod, as you said. And
Exactly. Another
there
one.
goes the Pokédolls.
And that's gonna be probably the biggest card, the card that has the most impact in this matchup. Just because Pokédolls are so threatening to Pikarom, as well as you play 2 or 3 boss order, they're still not enough. For ADP Zacian, that's enough because they're just gonna be able to take 2 prizes every time. And that's great for them. But for Pikarom, it's not enough. Not enough at all.
Yeah, the fact that Pika is just so fast and goes through the deck so quickly just helps the mill players just a ton. And yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of feels like the same with a lot of decks, that they just have to play those cards like Research the Dene every turn to refuel their board and get all of their moving pieces together in the right
Hmm.
combination. And they get rid of important resources that way. They have to, because they have to set up. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what you want when you play
So there's
control.
a Luzamine card that has, so much hatred
Man, I
in
love
the game.
Lusamine.
Oh my god,
uh,
what a card. Luckily,
uh,
we're gonna see it go soon, and 0 card less in the deck for the mill player, but I don't think that will be the case forever. There's already an ordinary rod. Well, that's the ordinary rod committed, but he probably had placed 2 copies, right?
yeah, you need to be careful here because the Wondrous Labyrinth is still in play, and you can't resource manage for one attachment if you have
Yeah.
to. So you need to be a little bit careful um, in this situation. But I think yeah,
Mhm.
if you're
But as
here, if
well,
you're at this score, you know what you're doing, and you're not going to overextend and lose that game this way.
yeah, but as well, Lyder just, has every turn his deck gets thinner and thinner, and his resources in the deck becomes, you know, smaller and smaller. So let's see what can do here. He probably needs to tag bolt anytime soon. Try to taking out those Chinchinos would be great, but that Mew just stops that plan. And as well, this Bolton is gonna hit the active, which is okay.
I
but
mean, yeah, you take
it's
out a
nothing
doll,
changed.
but
Yeah.
your opponent still has Lieutenant Surge available, and you can basically they can do whatever they want. See the whole deck and play from there, and look what what resources do you have available. And I really like that mill is built, like the Cinchino mill is built in a way where then they can just in the late game, if they just shuffle back 3 parapet, then they can search Belelba every single turn, and I think that's super strong. Um, like it makes it be super threatening and super aggressive. Like it threatens your board way more than other control variants because of the option to just mill 6 every turn in the very late game.
Yeah, so there's a little bit Marksman once more. 9 cards left in the deck, and even a Crashing Hammer to top it off. Tails, another Crashing Hammer, another Tails. Well, probably would not make much impact here, but still a card to be aware of. And even so, Sky Pillar plus Mew, 2 layers of defenses against this Tag Bolt. I don't think we will see it this game. Pretty
Yeah.
sad stuff.
Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes for Pika. You know, if you just sit there versus mill and electrify a bunch, um, yeah, then you're not attacking, you're not taking prizes. And also, all bosses orders gone for Lyder now.
Yeah,
The third one was milled right there, and he is at only 8 cards. So if the Mewtwo plus Belelba combo comes out on the next turn, he will just lose the game.
yeah. Pretty unfortunate stuff here for Lyder. There's the Eldegoss that could give
The
him one
Eldegoss even
turn next.
prized. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
On
could
one
have
side,
given
it's
him.
fine because you know you will not get milled because you
Yeah,
have
I
the
mean,
Eldegoss in deck.
if you get the Eldegoss early, I think that could be a way where you maybe get an opening, right? If you um you can just make it shuffle itself back into the deck with like energy switches and constantly attaching from hand and constantly recycling a boss's order. Maybe I
Hmm.
don't know. I haven't like really tried it out bunch, but that maybe is a way where you can yeah, get an opening and get enough bosses order to get rid of those pesky Pokedolls and just play around them. But we won't see it this game, unfortunately. I don't know if the Mewtwo is coming down or not, but it doesn't really change anything, I think.
Exactly. I don't think he will be able to take out those 3 prizes in one hit. I mean, that's for sure. So he just plays low. Just next turn, one more below the Bryceman.
Yes, and then you go from there.
Yeah,
And yeah,
exactly.
now we see the Eldegoss probably coming down, but
It's not gonna do anything, unfortunately. Yeah, there's even a quick ball, discarding at the Dene, just seeing what's left. Reset Sample would be good to draw here, but not really, because you'll just give your opponent probably the way to win in that case. So
I
LG
mean,
got,
if you shuffle the Eldegoss back into the deck right here with the two you can't attach the speed lightning energy to it, never mind.
yeah, you
um
can't only lightning Pokemon.
but if you had two basic lightning energies on it, then you would shuffle it back into the deck
Yeah,
and
yeah, it could have
play at
worked,
7
unfortunately.
cards or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just way too slow in this scenario.
Yeah, and even so, maybe next turn, like by, I mean, it would be such a big margin which it happens. You're able to attach energy to the algae ghost next turn, and then energy switch on it. It's gonna be so tough, though. I don't think it's gonna happen. You take the knockout of the
No,
pocket doll, but then you have also the sky pillar.
yeah,
Are
I
you gonna
think
take the
it's just
last?
something
No.
just something to keep in mind in general. It's good to know all of your Pokemon's attacks because they could sometimes
True.
come in handy in a pinch. And I love the attack on the
Yeah, how
Eldegoss.
many games
It's
can you win
so
with
neat.
Psy Power? How many games can you win by even slap sometime in some extreme cases?
Yeah,
But overall, it's just shows how important it is to know your deck. But there we go, double level Bison. Don't even need to put cards back in your deck. Even a Pokédoll there, putting it even in the deck just to be safe, and that's it.
yeah, it's going to be it. And Lyder decking out, unfortunately, that's something that hasn't changed a whole bunch compared to the
Yeah.
last format. Mills still coming out victorious over
Indeed,
Pika.
Yuto taking the game here. Props to him, also playing from Japan. It's
Oh, very
probably
nice.
night there already, right? So
Yeah.
props to him for playing the tournament. Once again, thank you everybody for playing the tournament wherever you are, especially if it's a weird time for you. But thank you very much for making this tournament this big as it is. Remember, 1,500 people around that are playing at this tournament. So good luck to everyone playing. This was round 8. We'll be back shortly with round 9.